Hey Jay, it's Ryan. I wanted to say congratulations on delivering a successful Kickstarter campaign. Hey man, I just got the Viva Mexico deck and this is awesome. Everything from the colors you chose to use, the back design, the custom quartz as characters, the pips, everything about it fits the theme. So I was wondering if you could tell me a little bit more about the design, the inspiration, and who was involved.
Hey Ryan, thank you so much for the kind words. How this deck came about was I wanted to create a deck of playing cards that honored my parents who are Mexican and my childhood growing up in Mexico, and incorporate, food, the flag, and just the culture and heritage of Mexico, which is, in my opinion, the best country in the world. Second best country. I love America too. And this deck came about, man. I became friends with Adrian Valenzuela, a designer I met on Instagram. We talked back and forth and we created Viva Mexico. So it was a collaboration between me and Adrian.
Well, they turned out awesome. Hey man, I noticed during the campaign that the tuck box was originally going to be cardboard. What caused you to change that?
Yeah, man. Originally the box was going to be similar to like cardboard feeling. And reason being is I wanted it to feel very handmade, very Mexican, and I wanted it to go along and look good with these burlap bags that I had in mind. But the backers didn't like it, and they said it had more potential, and I agreed with them. So I contacted Adrian and I told him, hey man, I have no idea what to do with this box. Freestyle it, do whatever you feel is best in your opinion. And he gave us this, and when I saw it, I was like mind blown. I mean, I couldn't have come up with this, and this is all Adrian. Great job on that. So we stuck with that. Whenever I saw it, I did notice that it had a little bit of blue outlines, and I told him we need to put that on the inside. We need to have interior printing, and we were gonna do it as a stretch goal. It didn't reach. We didn't reach that goal, but after doing a few numbers and putting some money out of pocket, I decided, hey, throw it as a thank you and like a little gift for our backers. So thank you so much for supporting our campaign, and you get a little freebie there. So.
Well, hey man, that's awesome. As a backer, I really appreciate the interior printing. Hey, on the tuck case, you've got the card back design, you've got the Viva Mexico logo, and you also got some Spanish writing on the sides. Can you tell me what they mean literally and what they stand for?
Yeah, so one of the sides says 16 de septiembre de 1810, which is Mexican Independence Day. And every Mexican Independence Day, I've actually spent a few Independence Days in Mexico. And there's this huge party, and at the end of it, everyone always yells, Viva Mexico, because that's what they claim. I wasn't there in 1810, but that's what they claim was yelled after the Independence Day, was Viva Mexico, which a lot of people say means long live Mexico. I mean, that is what it means. On the sides, it says, El que juega por necesidad, pierde por obligación. And it just kind of means like, the literal translation would be, he who gambles out of necessity will lose out of obligation. So in other words, like, gambling is fine, playing poker, whatever you like to play, it's all good, but just don't do it like out of necessity because you have to pay this, like don't gamble your life away is pretty much what it says. Just do it for fun. And that's pretty much it.
Well, those are great words to live by. Hey, one thing I really liked about the deck is the variety of bright colors you used and a busy back design. A lot of decks are going with a more minimalist design and a limited color palette. Tell me why you chose to go the other route.
Well, you see, Ryan, I love minimalist deck. I have quite a few that are my favorite, but to represent Mexico, you have to have color. The parts I've been, at least, it's all about celebration, partying, carnival, family. Like everything about Mexican culture is bright and sunny and orange, So whenever I saw the box that was orange, I was like, that's perfect. And the back design, the idea was this deck wasn't gonna be what it is now, and I'm so glad it is what it is now. But at first we were just like, let's play around with like a poncho or a blanket and see where it takes us, and this is where it took us. But the back design honors the Mexican poncho, the Mexican blanket. So just like I said, you look throughout Mexican culture and all you see is color. So I would have done this deck a disservice to make it minimalistic and not as crazy, because Mexico is crazy.
Well, the colors really do the deck justice. Hey, I also like how you incorporated authentic food items into the pips. You tell me a little bit more about the meaning and the purpose behind those?
Well, like I mentioned earlier, I wanted to tribute and honor my culture and my family, and I wanted to be a little bit more creative than doing custom court cards or vanity court cards, you know, putting their faces on them. So I decided, you know, let's have some fun with the pips, and I put some hidden messages on the pips, and I'll tell you what they are. The avocados on the spades. My dad was born in the world capital of avocado. The clubs are nopales, also a type of cacti, and my aunt, who I was really close to, passed away 5 years ago, and she used to sell nopales for a living. Chips, I'm just a fat boy and I love chips and salsa. And tomatoes are apparently originated in Mexico. Mexico-made tomatoes, famous is what they claim. So I wanted to put that on there. And I also wanted to remain the standard shape that's familiar with us. Like I wanted people to be able to look at it and say, oh yeah, that is a tomato, but I can tell it's a heart. Or that is an avocado, but I can tell it's a spade. The corner pips I did keep standard because for poker play and easy play, like, you know, you don't kind of want to, it's just easier to know, like, okay, that's a spade than trying to figure it out in case some people have a hard time with it.
Well, that's a really clever way to pay tribute to your family and the people that you love. Hey, I really like the Ace of Spades. How'd you come up with that design?
Man, I'll be honest with you, it was pretty easy coming up with the Mexican flag eagle for the Ace of Spade. When I first brought the idea to Adrian, he wasn't crazy about it, and we went some other routes and ended up coming back to it. And I remember he called me when he designed it, and he said, man, Jay, he goes, that looks great, like, honestly, like, good job on that. Because it was perfect. And again, you have Mexico on the name of the deck. Like, you cannot not have the Mexican eagle. So I mean, that was a no-brainer on that one.
Well, I'm glad you included that in the design. You took some liberties with the courts, including some characters from popular Mexican culture. Can you tell me about a few of them?
Yeah, the court cards was actually one of my favorite things about this deck. Me and Adrian had a lot of fun with it. For the Queen of Clubs, I chose the Virgen de Guadalupe, which is a symbol of Mexican Catholicism. For the Jack of Diamonds, I went with the luchador. When I was a little kid, lucha libre was my favorite sport. I wanted to be a luchador growing up, so I could not have a luchador on there. And the King of Spades is Zapata, a Mexican revolutionary, really, really famous, did a lot of good things for Mexico. Not only that, my mother lives in Mexico, and her street address is Emiliano Zapata. So that's another little tribute right there.
Hey man, it's really cool. I like the hidden purposes behind some of the design elements. I also really like the Jokers and the fact that you included one of the reveals. Was that the first design for the Joker you came up with?
Well, to be honest, Ryan, the Joker we were having a difficult time, so we put it on the back burner for a few weeks. And one day I was at work. I used to work for a casino, and we did some parties and we had props. And I went into the prop closet, and standing right in front of me was a piñata. And I had a light bulb moment, and I said, that's it. That's the Joker. Why didn't I think of this before? So we decided to go with two Jokers, a normal piñata and then a broken piñata. During the campaign, one of our backers suggested we added a reveal, and I thought that was a great idea. Thank you. And we decided to do it, and no better reveal than the Seven of Hearts.
Well, man, that's awesome that you listen to your backers and take into consideration some of their ideas. When it comes to printers, I know you got a lot of different choices, so why'd you choose Legends?
Choosing a printer was actually the hardest thing. I did a lot of research on playing card forums. I talked to fellow magicians and card collectors, and I came to the decision that Legends was going to be my best choice because of the back design being so intricate and so beautiful. I really needed a perfect border registry, and I did not want to risk that going with another company. We chose the classic finish, which in my opinion is the best finish by Legends, and we printed 1,000 cards, and I'm really proud of how they look and how they handle.
Well, hey man, I really like this deck, partly because of the colors and the vibrant design, and partly because everything but the indices are custom and perfectly fit the theme. The handling is what you'd expect from most Legends decks, and the borders are true and sized to fit the intricate back design. And you and Adrian did a really great job, and again, congratulations on a successful campaign. I look forward to seeing more work from you in the future.
Thank you so much for the kind words, Ryan. I'm really, really glad you liked this deck. It was a learning experience. It was my first deck, and it was Adrian's first Kickstarter deck. I know he's done some work for other people, but we're really excited about it. We're glad it got funded and produced. We're really proud of it, and all the sleepless nights were well worth it. So thank you so much.
Well, for all you guys out there that didn't get this deck on Kickstarter, you can go over to hocus-pocus.com and put a few in your cart. I want to thank you for watching, and Jay, thank you very much for being part of this, and I'll see you guys real soon.
Well, thanks for having me, and thank you to Hocus Pocus for supporting my first Kickstarter campaign, and stay tuned for future projects. You never know when we'll create something else.